Hello there, viewers of the Vanguard Encounter. It's I, Kronos Phoenix, back with another Vanguard video today. Yeah, it's just me today. Bit kind of boring because people are being giddy and like, yeah, we've cancelled the update video until we can find members that are responsible enough to take care of it. I mean, I wanted to do the update video, but it was an absolute nightmare. I know, right? Fucking. But in any case, I will be doing the first clan review today. Starting from the top, I will be basically going over each clan sort of over the weeks. Maybe I'll bring some other people with me next time I do one of these, or maybe I'll just show you how they work, and I will go over the various builds that you can go with the clan. So this should probably help you with people who have any pending questions about a clan, or if they have any like harsh tips about things. And obviously you can I'm starting from the top left of the deck clan thing, but if you want to have a review on a clan specifically on the make a request, and I'll get to that one next. First come, first serve. So yeah, let's do this. So obviously we're starting with Angel Feather, because Angel Feather was the first one. That was at the top left. Angel Feather is a clan that is based around switching cards from your damage zone and your hand. The way that people describe this is basically your damage zone becomes a second hand. Your damage zone is a hand that you can basically take things in and out from. The interesting thing about this is that it's extremely dangerous with Angel Feather, because one wrong move and you're screwed. But I mean, to be honest, it's a nice clan. It's dangerous because you can easily get yourself to 6 damage and cycle cards out because they happen at the same timing. Few rulings though. A few rulings and notes to things. Angel Feather has no ability that will allow you to heal. There are only 2 cards in Angel Feather that let you do that. That is the Cosmo Healer Ergodial, and that's a Persona Blast. That's a Persona Blast that allows you to heal, and Mobile Hospital Feather Palace, and that is a Mega Blast that lets you heal off damage equal to the number of rear guards you have. Both of which are not exactly easy to pull off. Both of which are not exactly useful, but both of which are not. I don't think they actually run mainly. But basically, I will be going over the Angel Feather general mechanics, and I will be going over the archetype, because the archetype is pretty much all sub-clan, as people like to call them. The sub-clan has properties of the clan that makes it part of that clan, but obviously also has ways of doing things that the other clan doesn't. But well, we'll start off with the grade zeros. The grade zeros normally focus around. There's very generic grade zeros. I believe there is the grade 0 with the only forerunner that is actually useful in any other regular angel non-sub-clan deck. Hope Shell Turiel, which lets you throw a card into the damage zone and take a card out if you counterblast. So that's pretty generic. That helps out with the main theme of the Angel Feather deck. Let's see. Then we have the Multi-Angel, Great Clone, Limit Break 4 Draw. I suppose we'd have to go into the Celestial. We have Miracle. Oh, also we have Miracle Feather Nurse, because why not? We also have to go over the this little. If you take a look at this Crimson Heart Nahas, obviously it's a Red Wing star. It's beautiful, absolutely one of my favorite Angel Feather cards, purely because Red Wings. That goes into a into sort of like a small chain that goes into Crimson Mind, Bardock, Crimson Drive, Aphrodite, and then obviously Crimson Impact, Metatron. The thing about these that set them apart from other cards is that they turn themselves over in the damage zone in order to gain power. And also Metatron was the first card that had the specific ability to be able to call things from your damage zone directly. And that also would be a nice combination with the 1,000 and million ray Pegasuses. Also, if you look at the Celestial starters, there's one that allows you to call a Celestial from your Rearguard circle and put the top card of your deck in face down, and there's another one that lets you put the top card of your deck into your damage zone at the beginning of your ride phase, and that will let you easily get off your limit breaks, obviously at the start of your turn. So that's also useful, but that Gediel, very dangerous, because obviously if you get to 6 damage with that, yeah, you've lost. Moving on to the grade 1s, we have obviously the generic things that most clans have. Bardock, which is part of the Metatron chain, and we have Heavenly Injector, which when you ride Fate Healer Godiel on it, you'll be able to switch a card out from your damage zone. So Heavenly Injector and obviously the Godiel ride chain mainly go over the generic basics of the deck, which is messing around with your damage zone. Then we have obviously other generic stuff. We have the staple card, which is essential in most decks, even in Celestial decks. You'd still want to run this card. Battle Cupid Nociel. Nociel is a card that allows you to guard with it, because when it's placed on the rearguard circle, once you've guarded it, you get to switch out a card from your hand, put it into your damage. Right? So, which means you get to put a card in, take a card out. If you have a 10k in your damage zone, and you don't have, and you have a card that you can throw away, you can use Nociel, and Nociel will be able to allow you to, first of all, trade with the card, and second of all, if you need that card immediately, you are allowed to guard with it. That is a ruling that was issued by Bushiroad. Which is interesting, because that means that you're using basically your damage zone to guard attacks now as well, which is also very nice. Let's see. Candlelight. Not really much here, because obviously it's a pretty small clan. Also we have the 1,000 and million ray Pegasuses. The Pegasuses are interesting because every time a card is placed into your damage zone, it gains power plus 2,000, and that encourages a deck that can cycle through those damages fast during your turn, and that allows you to make very scary 1,000 and million ray Pegasuses, and that can get out of hand pretty fucking quickly. And then we have the Celestials, the Zorakiel support. The thing is, with Celestials, they do two things. They call themselves from the rearguard circle, as shown by Emergency Celestial Danielle. There is a Celestial that allows you to switch a card out from your hand. And then there's the other Celestials, which allow you to, first of all, Sariel, which lets you place a specific Angel Feather into your damage zone when you counterblast. And, Orders Celestial Yakon, Underlay Celestial Hesediel, and I believe there's another one, I'm not sure. No, there isn't. But basically, they have effects that have, when you have a specific Angel Feather, namely Zorakiel over here, you can activate very powerful effects, or be able to gain advantages because she's in your damage zone. And also, Celestials do that. Celestials, they will allow you to place cards from your deck into your damage zone freely, rather than having to use your hand. But there are effects that will allow you them to switch for your hand or add them to your hand. But mainly, they try to put into the deck, and they try to get things out pretty much from your damage zone pretty quickly without having to go too deep in. Also, there's the Clean Up Celestial Ramio Reverse, which actually is the first card that actually affects your opponent's damage zone, because what it does is it heals off an opponent's damage. And then, what it does is, after it's healed off the opponent's damage, once it's done that, once it's healed off the opponent's damage, you place they have to pick a rear guard, and it goes back into the damage zone. Now, unless you're playing Angel Feather, the damage zone is pretty much inaccessible unless you heal it off. You've basically made that rear guard completely and utterly unusable to the opponent unless they manage to heal it off. But even then, they might actually have to waste healing it when there's another card with counterblasted damage. They're not going to get that card back very often, unless of course they're playing Angel Feather versus Angel Feather. But then again, you get those benefits as well, which is very interesting. Which makes Clean Up Celestial Ramiel Reverse a pretty nice card. But my favorite card has always been Metatron, purely because Metatron has red wings and I'm a Phoenix, and I like Phoenixes, because Phoenixes, why not? But yeah, there is the I believe there's the Operation Celestials, which gain 2,000 power for each card, which is named Operation Celestial Armin. So they gain a lot of power if there's Armin if there's Armins there, and that can become quite deadly for columns. And then the rest is basically all generic. You can go over with that whatever with those. I believe that the Phoenix Calamity Flame is a grade 3 version of the Ray Pegasuses. I believe that the Medical Gunner Hermias is a very nice card in the Rearguard Circle. So that's always pretty good. There's and that's about it. There's also the Ironheart Mastema and the Clutch Rifle Angel, which gain power depending on when your damage zone is more than or equal than your opponent's. And there's also Nocio, which lets you freely switch in and out like a normal person. And that's about it really for the Angel Feather clan. So I'll summarize this again. Angel Feathers, they cycle out through the damage zone, so you want to use cards that let you quickly cycle through your damage zone in order to grasp the cards you need and get rid of the cards you don't need. The damage adders are pretty viable in this sort of thing because then you have more damage to work with. Also, they like to sorry, I'm kind of tired. Also, they like to call things from the damage zone, and they like to gain effects off of replacing things in the damage zone. Also, gaining things from the damage zone during your opponent's turn in order to strengthen your own defenses. The Celestials, the specific sub-clan trait that the Celestials have is selective damaging. Selectively getting cards from your deck into the damage zone, rather than placing cards from your hand, placing cards from your deck into the damage zone. And also having the ability to not only gain effect from having a specific card in the damage zone, gaining effects from gaining effects that allow you to mess around with your opponent's damage zone, as with Ramiel Reverse. And also there's the Godiel and the mobile hospital Feather Palace, which allow you to heal off your damage completely. So that's about wraps it up for Angel Feathers. If you have any questions about the Angel Feather clan, I will answer those questions. Angel Feather Clan. In terms of how I like Angel Feathers, I use Angel Feathers pretty often. Every so often, rather. You've probably seen me play Angel Feather. So that's always it's always a nice clan to play every so often. But yeah, so that's gonna be the weekly video for today. I will probably do a deck profile. Actually, rather than cutting off the video now, I will probably make a deck here and now, and then I'll review it. So obviously I'm going to make just so you know what to look for when you're deck building, right? I'm going to make a deck based around the Chief Nurse Shamseal, because that has the best sort of play off from when you're doing things. And obviously yeah, obviously you can do amazing things with Shamseal, that is just crazy. So obviously, Shamseal's ability, let's go over it. Choose an Angel Feather from your hand, put it into your damage zone. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your damage zone and put it into your hand. So it cycles when it attacks, and when a card is put into damage zone, this unit gets power plus 2000 until the end of the turn. So I'm going to make a deck around basically to abuse this. Obviously, it gains 2000 power every time a card is cycled into damage zone. So we want Hope Child Turiel, purely because it's got a damage switch and it adds to the one damage switch that we're going to use. Now, obviously, I'm going to be using the 1000 Million Ray and Calamity Flame because they also have a similar effect to what Shamseal does. So I'm going to run stand triggers because then I can use the power to my advantage. I'll use whatever stand triggers I feel like using. Obviously, we're putting cards into damage and throwing them out, so we're going to use Feather Therapy Nurse for that extra power if we can't quite get to it. And it allows the opponent to guard for a bit more. And obviously, I'm going to be using a heal trigger, because if you're not running heal triggers, this can be very dangerous, and Angel Feathers love healing. So now then, I'm going for max power here. So first of all, I'm going to run for the perfect guard because today's meta is kind of annoying. Right? So obviously 4 of the Million Ray. Then we're going to go for, I'm gonna say 3 Nociel. Nociel's pretty useful. It's a nice thing to have. It's a shame she's so weak. And Clutch Rifle Angel, because Clutch Rifle Angel will give me lots of power to my Vanguard if I'm actually able to pull it off. So that'll have a nice added effect. I want 4 Million Ray Pegasus, because Million Ray Pegasus will makes the world go round, which is also nice. So I'll be able to go over that. Obviously, I want to switch out cards like I've never done before. So I'm going to use Love Machine Gun Nociel at 3, because Nociel is only an 8k, so it might not be actually that useful. And then, because we want another beta besides Million Ray Pegasus, we're going to use Ironheart Masterma. Sure, it's an 8k, but it gains 3000 power. When obviously when my damage is equal then or more than the opponent, so that's an 11k smack. I can smack your 11k Vanguards with no problem at all with Ironheart Masterma. But because it's just purely a power boost, I'll burn it at 3 and bump Nociel down to 2, because I want to run 2 Sariel, because Sariel is not Celestial specific. I can use any angel, I can place any Angel Feather, and plus it's from my deck when I call it, so that's also nice to have. Then we are going to go for the Chief Nurse Shamseal, and probably instead of going for Phoenix Calamity Flame, if you should have the break ride, it's always nice to go to the Calamity Flame. But I'm going to use Prophecy Celestial Remiel, because first of all, it's a break ride, so that gives me a massive power boost at the start of my turn. Second of all, it gives me a switch, therefore I even get a bigger power boost from its break ride. Not to mention, I can keep switching out cards with my abilities, which is also very nice to do. to be honest, I don't actually have that much switching in the deck because there's not a lot of grade 1s. There's plenty of grade 2s that let you do it, but they're very low in power. That's why I've got Ironheart Mastermer. I might bump down Ironheart Mastermer and you put Null Seal to 3 simply because I want a slightly more switching than I am doing anything else. And there's little defense to this deck, so it's either do or die. Power, gaining power requires you to have low base power, so that's always nice. And that will be the Angel Feather deck. So basically, let's go over what the deck has. It has 8 stands to abuse the power that I'm using, so I can easily rush them and waste their guards. Slightly more power boost to cover it. A stand trigger with an ability that lets me switch cards from my hand. Heal triggers, obviously. A forerunner that supports my goal. A defensive card that allows me to take cards from my damage zone and actually boost my Vanguard by a little bit of power. A card that gives me more power because I have more damage or equal damage, and if I'm at 5 damage, that's an amazing thing. A card that gains power off of the cards that I'm switching. A card that switches when it's called. A card that adds when it's called. A card that gains power from my damage. A card that gains power from my switching. A Break Ride that gives me a huge advantage to battling and also procs off my allows me to damage switch. Add my boss card. So that'll be it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoy the deck profile. Hopefully you enjoyed the actual review, and I will see you later next week. Sorry for the late video. I was going to do a Cardfight update video, but the problem is people are just irresponsible people. Gonna have to actually have a set of people to actually do update videos. Otherwise, I'm gonna actually have to start actually removing people from videos altogether. Hopefully nothing like that will happen, because I really don't want something like that to happen again. So yeah, we will see you next week. This is Chronos Phoenix signing out.